This is Jump and Shoot playing Enter the Gungeon, and I welcome you to the cookout because I have some beef with what I just heard from this podcast. This is the successor to the Escapist podcast because they got fucking let go in an email or whatever. I don't remember that. Actually, that's G4. Everybody left. They have a new podcast called the Firelink Podcast where they talk about shit. No, just they have the same like usual game topics that they go over, and so the topic of this one was about grinding. Like, when is it good? When is it bad? I think they have a similar one like a long time ago, but it was Frost, Yahtzee, and Marty, the three guys, and they got into the subject of some roguelites and like some games where it's based on like subsequent runs, and you start to unlock things slowly, and then it's supposed to make the next run more exciting because now you have something new to use. That's like every roguelite ever. And the clip about the show is this.
Dead Cells, it feels like I have to put it on the babyest mode and grind out all the currencies and find all the weapons, and then I get to actually play Dead Cells. There's just too much stuff on it.
Sounds and like you need to get good, scrub.
No, because I play like an idle game. The most efficient way to do it is to just put the ego away, put it on the baby mode, and it's faster. It's faster than everything else. The only suckers like just grind out the hardest for their ego.
Yeah, I mean, games like there's. Well, I'm feeling a little bit attacked by that, man.
You like narratives. You don't care about your skill.
Oh.
And then I was at work, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It made me so upset. And, okay, if you don't like Dead Cells as a roguelite, fine, whatever. I heard many people say they don't like games in general where you're amassing all this power and it all goes away when you die to start all over again. But also, that again, that's like every roguelite. Like, you walk in with that expectation and then you just have fun after that. He brought up Dead Cells as an example, saying, oh, I have to play on baby mode to unlock everything. And he's complaining about how he has to do that before... is this a secret? He's complaining about how he has to do that before he can play the game. I'm like, first of all, unlocking blueprints and unlocking new difficulties as you progress, or every time you beat the game, like that's the game. Like, you are, by unlocking things slowly and upgrading everything, you are playing the game. There's not really like a grind, since it's possible to beat the game or finish a run without unlocking everything you come across. And he's like, no, I have to unlock everything before I go on. It's like, well, no. Also, and then he said people who play on the hard modes just have a big ego. And it's like, okay, you completely missed the point about why people do this. Like, if anything, I would argue it's a little bit sadistic, but in games like Dead Cells, what is this little graphical thing happening here? Is it like a torch? Oh, it is a torch. Okay. That is some... I'm noticing like some new attention to detail about this game every time I play it. Wow. Anyway. Playing on harder difficulties is like sometimes sadistic, but in the case of Dead Cells, you don't have to play on easy mode. And I would argue, he said that people who do this have a big ego. He's like, well, I'm going to be the bigger person, and, I'm going to put away my big ego and just play on the easy mode so I can unlock everything faster. It's like, okay, he's wrong on both accounts, philosophically and actually. Just because the way the game works is you beat a game, you finish a run with whatever you have, and you unlock a boss cell. and that increases the difficulty so that you can open more doors. I think at least around boss cell 3, there's 5. There's boss cell 3 that opens more doors for you. You get to go to more levels. Gold, you get more gold when you kill enemies. You get more cells when you kill enemies. Everything just becomes so much more exponential gain-wise the more you increase the difficulty. And this guy is saying I have to play on baby mode to unlock everything, so he's wrong. And yeah, back to what I was saying. I would argue that you're so afraid of death in a game. I would argue that's a big ego. That's the main big ego problem, is that, like, you're so afraid of death that you don't even want to, like, bump up the difficulty a little bit because you're afraid of dying in a video game. And that's, like, so stupid. And when I heard him say that, I was like, okay, you're suffering from LBS syndrome, which it stands for, if you go to Encyclopedia Britannica, it stands for little bitch syndrome. Okay. And then right after that, Yasi told him, like, hey, maybe you should just get good and play on the harder difficulties. And, like, yes, that's the correct answer. It's not the game's fault you don't want to take the risk and start getting more rewards by increasing the difficulty, like, when it's time. And heaven forbid somebody who is good at the game pursue higher difficulties if the option is there. Also, you get more for doing that. Like, you say I have to play on baby mode. There's a certain point where you stop unlocking new things because a lot of the stuff later on is not hidden behind, but, like, it just becomes more open to you when you put the weights on and you do something harder. You, like, increase the challenge. And you also, yeah, heaven forbid people go for a challenge sometimes when they're proficient enough in the game they're playing. Like, oh, you play, and, you know, examples I've been coming up with is, like, it's like playing Guitar Hero against somebody, and they're playing on expert, you pick easy, and your excuse is, well, I don't want anyone to think I have a big ego just because I play on expert. It's like, well, no, you're afraid of challenge, so you play on easy. That's your big ego talking. Like, you're just stop being a bitch. That's what I'm saying here. And they also talk about Hades a few times in that same podcast, and it's like the heat system. Yeah, you can beat the game and everything, but if you want to upgrade all the weapons, you still have to start putting on the heat so you can get more materials to upgrade those weapons. So you can't just play on the same mode all the time in most games. It's not even just Dead Cells, too. Like, it bothered me so much. And, yeah. Or it's like going to the gym and just refusing to increase your weight to increase the weight you work or whatever, and your excuse is, oh, I don't want anyone to think I have a big ego. It's like, well, what about the people who want challenge? Wanting challenge and making the game harder for yourself, I think there's a sense of modesty in that. It's like, well, how many things can I strip away to make it harder? It's not even a big ego thing. Like, it was just a complete wrong thing to say. It was such bullshit. Yeah, Yahtzee told him, like, well, I like a little bit of both. I like challenge, and I like the coziness of staying where I'm at sometimes. And just doing and playing like that. And it's in every game, too. It's, like, from my experience, like, Risk of Rain, there's certain things you unlock by playing on Monsoon. It's never like, oh, I need to prove to everyone how cool I am by playing on the harder difficulties. Well, no, there's actual stuff behind the difficulty. It's not just for no reason most of the time. It's not the game's fault you want to be a little bitch and you play on Drizzle every single time and never unlock anything new. Just you're if you think like that, that's your own. You're defeating yourself pretty much. And heaven forbid you actually get good at the game by playing on a harder difficulty. Like you're gonna stay there by not increasing it at all. You're not gonna get anything new by staying where you are. And it's not even just like proving to everybody else how like good at a game you are. It's just like it just misses the point. Oh, there's two guys here. I gotta get the other one. Yeah. Yeah, so this is my first ever like call out video to Frost. I respect most of the people in there. It's just when I heard that, I respected Frost a little bit less. To convince yourself that you think you have to play on the easy mode in a game that rewards you for taking the risk and trying something new within the game to unlock more things faster, and not even just faster, like new things. You're not gonna get everything by playing on easy. Like you don't reach the new endings. There's in the case of Dead Cells 2, there's whole bosses, levels, weapons, mutations, other things, skins, other things you unlock by playing on higher difficulties. So you're just gonna stay where you are, and you aren't gonna get good. You aren't gonna let yourself get better by just staying like that. It's so disappointing to hear people talk like that. And there's already a fucking stereotype of game journalists thinking they have to play on easy mode, just get through the game so they can review it in time or whatever. And like, you don't have to be like that for everything you play. Shit, I didn't mean to set you on fire, mister. The ant gun, I don't need. I'll take the ant gun. I'd like the vertebrake 47. That's cool. But it sucks for me because there's no one else I could like talk about this to, because I know most people in my space don't give a shit. Why doesn't the fire set off the fucking bomb drum? The bomb barrel. The Donkey Kong 64 blast barrel. Okay. I guess I'll use the ant gun. It's more precise. Let's see. Well, it doesn't matter. Hey, fire! Hey, fire! Can you stop? And then I've been needing to get this off my chest. In the form of a video. So, you know what? I'm gonna try adding... What are they called? Second win, and being like, hey, Yahtzee is right. Get good. You don't have to play on easy mode. I don't care what the fuck your reasoning is. No. No. You aren't getting things faster by playing on easy mode. No, you're just not. You're factually and philosophically wrong about your approach. Like, it's not... Challenges aren't there just for people to boast their big egos. It's just, like, it's there for the people who want it. If you don't want it, I guess that's fine. And if you don't like Dead Cells, I guess that's also fine. But that's not the reason why people play on harder difficulties. When the option is given to them. And also, in the case of Dead Cells, by playing on easy or like the one cell mode, like you run into so many less enemies. They drop less cells, they drop less gold, you find less chests in the game in any given stage. You don't get to go to new levels. Your runs are short because you don't have that many options open, branching paths open to you. So like, you're unlocking everything slow. You're not doing it faster. You tricked yourself into thinking you have to play like this. Because you don't want anyone to think that, oh, I might be getting good at this video game. Like, oh my god. Use the proton gun. I'm gonna die. I've been doing pretty good at clutch victories, but I don't like when I have to use all my big guns really early. Or maybe this is like, what, the second boss? Come on. I can't see what's happening behind me. Sure, whatever. And I guess you can do anything if you have like a busted gun. And this gun is okay, but it would be more fun if I had like a, ooh, Great Queen Ant. What does that do? Ooh, now I have a fucking egg sack on my ant. That's cool. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to get off my chest. I could not agree with that sentiment. It's just, you're saying you have to play on easy because you don't want to get better at the game. What the fuck kind of logic is that? And you think you're doing it more efficiently by playing on easy. Like, that makes zero sense to me. So, yeah, we're playing Enter the Gungeon again. Probably another one-off video. This is my first video of 2024. I promised myself I didn't want to make any more videos unless I had like co-hosts and, you know, people to hang out and talk about things with on camera. What is this little rat? The rat, get the rat! Yeah, I killed the rat. Also, I don't have any games that I want to play. I want to kill these rats. When did these rats start appearing in the game? This is like my first time seeing this stuff. Empty bottle. I have some problems with this game still. I want the key. So I played this a lot. I bought this a long time ago. I did like maybe like a few runs and I never won. And then I don't know what to do. There's all these things you have to unlock. And is this a thing you can go down? Oh, it's just part of the background. Anyway. I didn't know how to unlock any of the things or any of the new guns with like the central currency that you have in this game. Those little green rune things. And then I got a Steam Deck. It's the Steam OLED one. I got it like in December. And I've been playing that like pretty much nonstop, just going through my backlog and completing things. And this was Enter the Gungeon was the next game on the list. I finally beat Rad. I figured out the secret to Rad is ranged weapons are broken, and there's a setting you can put on where it's just make sure you get always ranged weapons early, and or range mutations, because melee combat in that game is fucking bullshit. It's not worth it. The later you get, the later you play, enemies just become like way too aggressive, and they can interrupt your combo, and it's like that's like the only thing you can do in that game. So I was like, well, what else can you do? You can get the range mutations, and they make it so that you can only get the range mutations. I was like, oh, and it kind of just like solved every run for me. But it still wasn't free. It was pretty hard. But yeah, I beat that. Now I'm playing Into the Gungeon. I finally beat the game, but I'm trying to get the true ending. I got all the 4 artifacts. That was kind of wild. But not as hard as I thought it would be. One of them you have to buy, and that's where I was like, I realized one of my problems with the game is there's not many ways for you to get money. Or even, I mean, in these rooms you get maybe like 2 to 3, and someone told me it's based on the performance, but I haven't been feeling that. I've been clearing some rooms in the first like stage like flawlessly, and I just get like nothing. And then so I make it a point to always clear on every floor, to clear every room no matter what, just to get like the most gold possible, so I can buy things from the shop. I see there's an item here. Oh, this thing. And then I'll do that, and I don't have enough to buy like the first thing in the shop still. It's like, well, what the fuck? So I don't know if it's based on performance, or if it is, it's like it's inconsistent. I wish there was like some kind of on-screen like score multiplier or streak or something to let you know how good you're doing, so you know how much gold you're gonna get or something. I don't know, but I hate the feeling of not being able to get everything in every single floor, which is different from like Risk of Rain or my experience, like Risk of Rain and Dead Cells. You can get everything on the stage if you do it right. And this game is just, no matter what, even if you're doing everything right, you still can't get everything. And then there's just not enough, like, resource. Like, sometimes, like, there's keys in the game, right? Sometimes there's more chests and doors than the keys you find and the keys you can get from the shop. It's like, and the shop always have the same amount of things. It never gets any bigger. So, it's just, I feel like, you're not able to maximize you're not able to like capitalize on like everything in the dungeon. There's some utility characters that let you do certain things, like sell your guns that you don't want anymore, maybe like run out of ammo or something, or instead of spending money to get things, there's a character you can buy the keys. You can use the keys to buy from them if you're hoarding a bunch of keys. Like, that's good. Oh god, I have, okay. Oh, the usurper. Now I have the ultimate king get up here. And there's like these things called table tech, and like things that manipulate your shots. Like, those are fun. You don't come across those often. And then there's not really a way for like to just kind of fish for certain things. Like, everything is pure random. And I know that's not a weird thing. That's not weird to say. That's not weird for a game, for a roguelite anyway, for everything to like purely randomize, but like even in like Rad, there's ways to get specific things that you might want. Or there's no way to like curate your run. And I just remember that there's characters in the main hall at the beginning of the game that you can use to manipulate your run a little bit. Like, there's a character who you can turn them on and get like these rainbow chests at the beginning of every floor. You get like a selection of items to pick. Well, you can only pick one, and that's worse. Like, sure, you get like a guaranteed like selection at the beginning, but you would get more things by just playing the normal mode. And because what that does, it makes all the it removes all the secondary shops you can only buy from the main shop, and it gets rid of all the chests. So because the guy's like, I don't want you to get enticed into buying something or finding something else other than the rainbow chest at the beginning of the dungeon. It's like, well, I want a guaranteed thing. Also, I still want to buy from the shops in the game and everything. And I still want to find random chests too. Let's see. I think I need this right now. Crown of Guns. I'm gonna switch to the thing. So I'm a flying man. That's cool. And I now have like no trouble facing certain bosses. So far, the hardest one for me is, shit. Oh, great, I'm gonna die. So far, the hardest one for me is this thing, actually. If you don't have, like, a high-damaging gun... Whoa! Go away, you! Ah, fuck. You don't have a high-damaging gun, or something with, like, good range, then some of these bosses become, like, really bad, and, like, the tank... Everything else, all the other bosses I'm completely fine with. But yeah, I'm gonna play this more on my own time. I just wanted to play something over that rant. Oh, so let me actually go back to the breach and explain my hardships. And right now I'm just trying to figure out like optimal ways to play this right now. Hey, there's nothing for sale here anymore. What happened, guy? You may be ugly as hell, but you're the best customer I had. Well, don't matter so much anyway. Burp, 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 burp. Okay. I guess because he ran out of things, I was his best customer. I bought everything he had. What about you? Yeah, so there's new shop guys at the beginning. You could just buy new items for any subsequent runs you might have. These guys give you quests. I still need to kill one more mimic. I haven't run into mimics. Ah, fuck! You can buy from this alien thing. He gives you new items. You can still buy from the other thing. And then there's this room. This character is the one that gives you the rainbow chest that gets rid of everything else except those chests. But I feel like it doesn't give you the same amount of items that you would get without it. And you can turn this on, but the option for no is no. The chest drop rate is sensible and by design. But you can't actually get all the chests, so it's like, it's stupid. This guy, I don't know what he does. He only said what he does like once. This guy makes the game run faster. I can't handle that speed. And then this lady just randomizes like literally everything every time you use it. And that's not fun. It disallows you from getting a build. Because everything is random like every 5 seconds. I don't know why he's a square and he's a circle. Some kind of weird analogy for breakfast time. This place I can still buy from here. And that's all I have left to do is just beat the game with the bullet that can kill the past. That's all that's left for me to do. But yeah, and I'm playing as this guy because one of his quirks is he gets discounts at shops. And he has increased ammo capacity for certain things. So everybody else is just not great to play as, in my opinion. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Frost. Don't be a little bitch. How about that? And I see that with respect.